And hello everyone, welcome to another Let's Play. This is Myrokos, and today we will be continuing the MSQ for Dawn Trail. I've got a little bit of time today to continue the MSQ before, well, I've got other things I have to do later this afternoon, so I figured try to get this in while I could. If you like what you see at any point, please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Give me a follow on Twitch. Hit the notification bells. It's a small thing from each of you, but it helps the channels out tremendously. Thank you in advance. With that said, let us talk to the approachable Pelu. To Urqopacha. The approachable Pelu is awaiting your question. Hello, Autumn. I've been waiting for what feels like days, because it has been, and eaten enough of Urqopacha's tacos to feed an army. Gee, I wish I could have had them. What is it you'd like to know? Our main concern was confirming the state of the road ahead. Hopefully it's cleared up by now. As I recall, to reach Urqopacha, we depart from the Arch of the Dawn, then take the road west at the first fork. Should we be wary of anything along the way? That is indeed the way to Urqopacha. After the damage wrought by the recent downpour, however, you'll be doing more stumbling than walking. But do take heart. When it comes to rugged terrain, we have a most dependable solution available. Come with me. It's gonna be the alpaca. We're gonna be riding alpacas, aren't we? Look at them. Yep. We're gonna be riding alpacas. Oh my, are these fluffy babies our mount? The Pelu all being small is confusing enough, but those masks make it almost impossible to tell men from women, let alone guess at their age. The beasts are sure-footed, that's for certain. Walking to a Pelu before we departed was a wise decision. I, for one, would rather not brave a treacherous, slippery trail on foot. Why did it have to be the alpacas? Honestly, Urqopacha, they're small, they're cute, they're fluffy. They're nice. May I introduce to you our most dependable companion, the alpaca. These gentle animals can traverse Urqopacha's steep mountain trails as if they were gentle fields, and all while carrying heavy loads. Our merchants would be lost without them. So they fill much the same niche as our chocobos back home. You don't have alpacas in Eorzea? No. Alpacas are native to Urqopacha. Eorzea has its chocobos, and the eastern lands have their horses. And they have falcons. Why go to the trouble of breeding another pack beast in a place which ill suits its qualities and where it is not needed anyway? But must we ride these little monsters? They're not monsters, Urqopacha. I get the impression you aren't fond of alpacas. When I was small and being a bit naughty, I went around pulling on their wool. One of them spat on me, and it was the foulest stench you can imagine. Ha 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 ha. I see. What do they like to ride? Alpacas bred as mounts are inquisitive and docile. Even those without experience can find them easy to handle. We were really doing this then, yes. So, was my information useful to you? Yes, very helpful. Even if it wasn't what I wanted to hear. Good. I'll take my payment now. You want me to pay you? Well, this is a palu. You said they were the merchant class, Urqopacha. I guess I should have expected as much from a palu merchant. Let me see what I have on me. She doesn't have money on her, does she? The palu value the act of spreading joy through trade. As you should know, they take pride in making deals that benefit both parties. Here you go, a fair price for your advice. Yes, I made a trade with the third promise herself. My friends will never believe this. I shall be on my way now. I wish you safe travels. Off you go then, and thank you. I better not get spit on again. You brought that on yourself. Remain calm and gentle, and so will they. I'm still not happy about this, but if we need to ride alpacas to reach Urqopacha, then that's what we'll do. Fog.
Turali poets of yore sang of a mountain that would stand tall, even should all other lands sink beneath the sea. Indomitable and eternal, it arises from Urqopacha, the 100 peaks of time. Of all the beasts which crawl and fly, only the legendary Valigarmanda could hope to disturb the summit's serene majesty. Yet, with that flying calamity imprisoned by the Dawn Serpent, what great feat remains for those who would claim the throne?
I imagine it would be more impressive were it not foggy.
So this is Urqopacha. I've never actually been here before.
The air is so crisp and clear. Mountains everywhere you look.
That one massive peak in particular has quite the presence. It puts me in mind of Som-Al.
That is Urqopacha, the tallest mountain in Tural. Its sheer height makes it an imposing climb. But there are other reasons the ambitious keep their distance.
What reasons?
Oh? Do tell.
Where to begin?
Excuse me, but you're Urqopacha, are you not? I hadn't thought to encounter one of the Dawn's promise here, of all places. But I should introduce myself. I am Bolnok, a weaver by trade.
Well met, Bolnok. We're on our way to Watrin Bello.
Oh, truly? I've just come from there, as it happens. I'd asked the Pelu who sell me their wool to give me a tour of their alpaca ranch. The head rancher and I shared a bottle of mezcal while he explained the finer points of wool production.
Mezcal? Is that a local beverage?
It's an Urqopacha specialty. A spirit made from distilled agave heart juice.
Yes, and it must have done wonders for my mood, for I tripled my usual order of alpaca wool. They did offer me a discount, though, so it wasn't a bad deal in the end. But listen to me, boring you with my tedious stories. I will leave you before you are lulled to sleep. Goodbye, and safe travels. Oh, silly me. I almost forgot to say the thing I actually wanted to say. Peace for Tural. I agree with your vision, Third Promise. You have my support in your bid for the throne.
I gather from his tale we would be foolish to underestimate Pelu merchants.
Yes, they do more than run the markets in Tuliyollal. Pelu peddlers can be found everywhere in Tural, traveling from place to place on their sturdy alpacas. They are effusive and engaging speakers, and many's the customer who's been talked into spending more than they bargained for.
They won't find this customer so easily charmed.
Watchun Pelo's down the path! Off the main road! Don't get lost!
It's right there.
Ooh, I like the music here. I could see more buildings down the path Bolnock was taking. I wonder what's over that way. I feel the change in altitude most keenly. While mayhap not to the same degree as the Sea of Clouds, the air is decidedly thin here. The palace crowds were more supportive of her brothers, but Urqopacha's peaceful politics do have their quiet adherents, I see. This is it, Watchin Pelu. Home of the Pelu, Urqopacha should have arrived before us. And there she is. That's not good. You've come all this way for the right of succession? Oh, so this means I'm exchanging words with the future Dawn servant. Please, the outcome is far from decided, but it is a possibility. How fortunate, then, that I deal in cloaks woven from especially luxurious alpaca wools. Such a garment would look magnificent when draped over the shoulders of our budding ruler. And a nation's ruler should dress her best for her adoring people, yes? Finery for our finest lady, that's right. Come, Third Promise, my well-stocked shelves are but a few steps away. Finest lady? I like the sound of that. Alright, I suppose a quick look wouldn't hurt. What did we just talk about? Aaronville, when did you... a shatana from far Shaktoral. Northern winters are bitterly cold affairs, I'm told. I cannot imagine how you survived them without a lovely warm cloak of quality alpaca wool. No, thank you. I'm not in need of new clothes at the moment, and neither is the third promise. Perhaps another time. Of course, my shop door is always open. You were saying something about not being easily charmed? I was just... As I mentioned previously, the Palu people live for bringing happiness through trade. They won't cheat or sell you defective goods. They won't cheat you or sell you defective goods. They will, however, disarm you with their deft turns of phrase, and unwitting customers like Urqopacha fall prey to this affable approach time and time again. Your only recourse is a clear, firm refusal. They won't pursue the matter should you make your disinterest plain. A valuable insight into the minds of the Pelu. Let us all take Erenville's words of caution to heart. Urqopacha is lucky to have Erenville. Everyone royalty. A specialty needs a friend and unafraid to try them when the need arises. I swear I let her out of my sight for one moment. It would seem the Pelu are also partial to coffee. Well, how did you know that? All these houses and buildings made to Pelu size, and mine too, come to think of it. Well, for the moment. Traders of happiness. Urqopacha is ready to search out the Dawn Servant's Elector. Search out or seek out? Okay. Not my finest moment, I'll admit, but now that we're here, let's do what we came to do. Find the Elector. Allow me to propose a strategy then. Cryle, Alize, and I will speak with the merchants. Urqopacha, you and Erenville might try approaching travelers and passers-by. Hey, what about me? Myrokos, pray investigate any other establishments which catch your eye. Should we learn aught of use, let us relay it to the third promise. The Dawn Servant's Elector? Ah, I thought you were a new face in town. Here for the right of succession, I take it. Me, I don't much care for who sits the throne so long as they keep Toral peaceful. People tend not to be in the mood to relax and sip our excellent mezcal once arrows and spears start flying, if you know what I mean. Speaking of which, would you like a cup? A joy shared is a joy doubled, I'd say. Oh, right, yes, you were asking about the Elector business. Being but freshly returned from a trading route, I've heard that there is a contest afoot, but not much else. Our head ledger, Tobly, could probably tell you more about it. Okay, so, Tobly... Might as well get the Paka heap. Yeah, I didn't really stock up on bi-colored gemstones. Electors? Oh yes, I've heard all about the right of succession. They're looking to put a new ruler on the throne, eh? Personally, I'm rooting for Zoralja. If the first promise wins, he'll look to expand our sphere of influence. That means access to more resources and more customers. In the thousands column, potentially. So many new trading opportunities to spread happiness far and wide. Others have been coming around to my way of thinking, so I've begun crafting goods inspired by the resilient sun. Would you care to purchase something? Please just answer my question. No, I would not. Please just answer my question. Very well, you said you wanted to know about the Elector. I could help you, but I won't. I can tell you're no supporter of Zoralja or his policies. Well, that's hurt. I was told look for Tobli. Hello there, I'm Mablu. Did you have a question for me? Sorry, I don't know about any electors. You should take a moment to see our prized alpacas before you leave, though. Oh, but be sure to admire them from a respectable distance. Get too close, and our nervous darlings may be tempted to spit on you, and that stuff stinks. I happened to be visiting a buyer not so long ago. Tobli, that's the head rancher, was also mad at me for not giving a proper warning. No one makes a mistake without Tobli noticing. He knows everything that happens on this ranch. So not only is he the head ledger, he's also the head person in charge of the ranch. Okay? And it makes sense he'd be on the ranch. You really have to watch yourself with these silver-tongued peddlers. I almost bought a bottle of mezcal. And a stack of blankets. And then there was this enchanting ornament. Urqopacha, just focus. Anyway, I did manage to learn that Tobli is the man to talk to about the contest. Now, if only they'd share where this head ledger of theirs is to be found. Probably on the alpaca ranch. Really? He's also the head rancher? Yep. Well, the alpaca ranch isn't far from here. I was literally right there. I say we pay it a visit before the others return. I'm surprised Aaronville, like, okay, given the nature of the conversation we just had, that quest should have had her with me, and then I did the talking. Just given the nature of that dialogue, because then would have arrived there, we could have then looked, been so much quicker. Back already? Yep. That's a lot of alpacas. Still, we know that the head ledger could be here somewhere. I can't let fear deter me, not to say that I'm scared, of course. Excuse me, is one of these workers Tobli? Tobli? Oh yes, he likes to mingle with the ranch hands and keep an eye on things. I can't tell you which one he is, though. You can't? Is this part of the contest? All I can say is that Tubby often mentions his favorite pungent subject. He also can't resist a profitable trade, though who among us could, am I right? Still, if you bring him a very good deal, he might let his identity slip. Yeah, so it's like a game. Easy enough. All I have to do is offer Tubby a deal he can't ignore, no problem at all. Very, well, maybe one problem. I don't think my purse is deep enough to pay everyone we think might be Tubby. Let's ask some questions first to narrow down the field. Great, we can meet back here to share our impressions. Well, obviously I'm not Tubby. I mean, oops. I shouldn't have said that. You're meant to find out for yourself who Tubby is, or if an elector is even in the village at all. Good luck. You think I might be Tubby? Haha. Well, maybe I am. All I will say is that in this village, none have reared more alpacas than I. I'll sniff out the head ledger in a heartbeat. You'll see. Am I Tubby? Yes, that's me. Excellent work from the third promise and her entourage. Sharp instincts. Shall we commence the rite of succession then? That seemed a little nervous. Wide-eyed alpaca? Beast regards you with wary eyes and a twitching jaw. Backing away slowly might be the wisest course of action. Okay. Diligent range hand. He also seems to be just overseeing everything, so that would make sense. Ah, a visitor from across the salt, if I'm not mistaken. Be warned, the alpacas will spit if you startle them. Okay, this is him. He's talking about it. I suggest you keep your movements slow and deliberate. Hurry along. I've coats to brush and smelly spit to mop up. Yep, it's the diligent. It's the diligent ranch hand. We were told. I see we're both done with our interrogations. So who do you think it is? I have my suspicions, but let's hear your pick. The diligent range hand. Ah, the worker's so intent on stable chores. I had my eye on that one too. Time to rip the mask off of our Mr. E range hand, so to speak. We know it's you, Tubby, and to prove it, I propose a deal. A generous sum of coin for confirmation of your true identity. An offer I gladly accept. As you have correctly guessed, I am indeed Tubby, head ledger of Wanchun Palu and head rancher of the family ranch. I am also one of Galul Jaja's chosen electors. Aha! In a place featured in the Tuliyolal saga, just as we thought. I was right to trust in your instincts, and I wager this won't be the last time. She found you out fair and square, Tubby, and I'm glad she did. Would have been a pity had her bid ended here.
Deducing the Don Servant's elector was the first step of the feat. Too simple a task for this aspiring ruler, eh?
Right. Not hard at all.
There he is.
Zorolja.
I am told the head ledger, Tobli, is to be found here.
You have to guess which one of us is Tobli. That's part of the test.
You're Tobli.
Without even asking a single question. Very impressive indeed. With that amusing prologue out of the way, we can proceed to the actual challenge. Per the Dawn Servant's instructions, I was free to devise any manner of feat. I considered a number of possibilities in the 10th column. But I think I have a good one. You must go forth and capture for me an alpaca.
While I've not had the best experiences with alpacas, aren't they generally docile creatures? That doesn't sound like much of a challenge.
Bring out the example! This is a special kind of alpaca. Would you please approach the animal, Third Promise?
Who? Me? Well, it should stay calm if I stay calm, right? That's what Erinville said. Ah! The little monster spat on me! Ah, oh, that stinks. I can't.
Alpacas are paradoxical creatures, being both extremely curious and extremely cowardly. Press your luck when they're frightened, and you'll get a face full of spit, as you've all just witnessed. Has an awful stench, their expectoration. The globs contain half-digested food, you see, making it an effective deterrent against perceived threats.
Wild valley breed like this one are especially timid and can therefore be quick to lash out. They're also especially hardy.
Indeed. We take the rugged wild alpacas and breed them with our gentle domesticated stock. This produces the strong but beatable pack animals prized by our traveling merchants.
That's all well and good, but did I need to bathe an alpaca spit for you to make your point?
So, the task is to catch a wild alpaca.
That is correct. But be warned that it is a feat easier said than done. I suggest you prepare well before you enter the valley where the creatures dwell. And by you, I mean the claimants only. Allies are not permitted to assist with their catching. The alpacas will help me judge which of you is worthy of receiving a keystone.
So I'm to chase down a fluffy, spitting demon, and that somehow proves I'm fit to rule?
As I said, the Dawn Servant granted me the freedom to decide my challenge. And when you reach the end of the rite, I dare say you will understand why I chose what I chose.
Very well. This won't take long.
Wait! Didn't I warn you this was easier said than done? There are preparations to be made, factors to consider.
A beast is a beast. All yield to strength.
So far, this experience has done absolutely nothing to improve my opinion of alpacas. But that doesn't mean I can't do this. Revolting spit aside, they're just another animal.
Are you all right, Urqopacha? We thought we heard you scream.
The third promise does not scream. It was more of a startled yelp.
Scream, in other words.
Did you find the Elector?
Oh, we certainly did.
I did say remaining calm was the key, but the same rules don't apply to wild alpacas. So this is our sought-after elector. The Raja puts me in mind of Golemald's own exalted son, one of the two. Though Xenos was of the two, though Xenos was undeniably more arrogant. Though you could reason with him. Like, once you understood his nature, you could actually begin to reason with him. You couldn't really succeed, but you could at least try to bridge the gap. Zaraja is just walled off. Judging by the volume of Urqopacha's scream, alpaca expectoration must have a nasty odor indeed. I'm content to remain ignorant of the smell. I've done my duty and assigned the claimants their feet. The rest is up to them. I was impressed with how easily Zoraldra found Tobli, but also sort of frightened. I had to go and wash that nasty stuff off my face. I think I got all of it. But would you mind taking a sniff for me, just to make sure? The stench has ruined my sense of smell. No. Hey, I saw that look. So, can you smell it? Be honest. The feet of gold. Erenvel wishes to discuss the feet of gold. As Wooklamot helped demonstrate, the Valley Alpaca are wary of people getting close enough to catch one will not be an easy task. You might have warned me about that earlier. I have enough trouble with tame alpacas. How do you expect me to wrangle a wild one? With the proper saddle. We infuse the leather with a relaxing scent that soothes the spitting beast. Wonderful. Give me one of those then. Have you perhaps forgotten we are a clan of merchants? If you want a taming saddle, then you'll need to find a saddler, and make them an offer. They don't come cheap, of course. Crafting a saddle will cost you the equivalent of 10 pel in the thousands column. You mean 10,000 pel? I don't have that kind of coin. Converting to gil, that comes to around 1 million or so. Mayhap if we all pitch in. I also have 1 million gil. You could always ask me. No, this is my feat to accomplish. I wouldn't feel right about having others pay the cost. I'll find the money somehow. In that case, that basket of wool is worth the sum you paid me earlier. 1 pel in the hundreds column. Beginning with the wool, you can trade for ever more valuable goods until you have something suitable to bargain with for the saddle. That's a nice gesture, but you think I can turn 100 pel into 1 million? That's 10,000 times more. No, 10,000 pel. 10,000 pel. That's 1 million gil. I have 1 million gil. If you just want 1 million gil, I can lend you for an exchange fee. But yeah, clearly someone doesn't know math. We need 10,000 pel, not 1 million. So we're looking at 100 times more. Oh, right. I panicked and got it confused with Alphino's 1 million gil. I'm not so sure about this trading idea. You were almost talked into buying a cloak. You didn't need mere moments after you arrived. But I hate it when you're right. Then let me help you with your deal making. Oh, hello again, Mablu. I work here at the as a ranch hand, but I've also learned a lot about the peddler profession. It's alright if I aid them now, yes? I guided the claimants toward the first step of the feat like you asked. As long as Wooklamot goes alone to capture her alpaca, she's free to accept assistance from whomever she likes. Hooray! Let's see about getting you that saddle then, Third Promise. I don't know why you made your offer, but I could use an ally with a beak for bargains. Welcome aboard, Mablu. Should the rest of us stay behind, perhaps? It may be easier to haggle over prices without so many voices chiming in. Yes, stay here and pitch in with the ranch work. With Mablu gone, I'll need extra hands to tend to the alpacas. Gladly, although, Myrokos, I think you should go with Wooklamot. You've seen markets and bazaars the world over, and surely have sage advice to share. That is true. I did save Estinian from spending too much gil on Mango Lassi that one time. In that case, you should also hold on to the alpaca wool. If it is misplaced or soiled in some way, you'll have nothing to bargain with. As if I'd do such a thing, but I'll leave the wool with Myrokos anyway. The better to keep my hands free. To begin, I suggest we try trading the wool to Havli, the saddler. He won't agree to the deal, of course, but it'll give us an idea for how much he'll accept for his wares. Tending to the alpacas, are we? I had some experience with that when I was younger. I'd worry if it was just Urqopacha, but it sounds like Mablu knows a thing or two about trading. I have every confidence you'll come back with the saddle. Turning 100 pel worth of wool into a 10,000 pel saddle is exactly the kind of suggestion I'd expect from the head of a merchant clan. Mablu hasn't given up, I see. So Mablu wants to become a merchant. A peddler, specifically. Is it really possible to make 100 times what wool is worth just through trading? Yeah, technically it is. This is the artisan who makes your taming saddles. Who makes our taming saddles, okay? Let's talk to him. I assume it's a him. Something I can do for you? We've come to bargain. I need one of your special taming saddles to catch a wild alpaca. A saddle, is it? And how will you be paying for it? With this basket of fine alpaca wool. What use does a saddle maker have for wool? Besides, this would barely cover the cost of a single strap buckle. Offer me something I actually want. And what might that be? Mescal. I'd like to nurse a cup at day's end while I inspect my finished work. Bring me a jug of quality stuff and you've got yourself a deal. This bodes well. Third promise. Such mescal can be had for only 5 pel in the thousands column. Hold on. Did you say third promise? Then my offer's changed. The saddle is going to cost you a jug of premium mescal, aged 3 years at least. 3 years? That stuff is valued at 10,000 pel or more. Why have you doubled the price? Because I must support the man of ambition who will see my business prosper. Zoralja will go to war and his cavalry will need saddles. Lots of saddles. It's nothing personal, third promise, but I won't sell you my craft for anything less than my asking price. Well, from his perspective, I suppose that makes sense. Can't say that I blame him. I'm known for championing peace, and peace is unlikely to bring him more customers. Those of our grandparents' generation remember the dark days when the clans were at war. Many of the Pelu pray for your victory, Urqopacha. The younger ones, though, to them, strife and bloodshed are as children's stories. They think themselves safe from these horrors and take the peace we now enjoy for granted. Still, others are unsatisfied with this quiet prosperity and crave the future, the second promise and visions. They've become obsessed with innovations like the dirigibles that have made trade swift and easy. Then you have those like Havley, convinced that the first promises plans for conquest will afford them opportunities for great profit. But what about you, Mablu? Aren't you of the younger generation? At least a year or two younger than me, I'd say. Oh, I was raised on the old tales. I've memorized the accounts of what it was like when the Yaqui ruled our village. That's why I offered to help. I want you to become Dawn's servant to keep our nation from going back to the way it was. Well then, I guess I'd better make sure I win the contest. But the type of mezcal the saddlemaker wants is so very expensive. Weren't we expecting to need 10,000 pel from the outset? Nothing's changed. We just need to get on with it. I may not have a head for trade or the stomach for alpacas, but I won't give up with the piece of Tuliolol on the line. Then neither will I. We will make you Dawn's servant. Aiming for that 10,000 pel jug right away will only bring us failure and frustration, so let us first try exchanging the wool for anything even a touch more valuable. The trick is to find someone who needs alpaca wool and is willing to trade at a loss to acquire it. Someone who supports your bid for the throne, for instance. Of course, the Weaver. Bolnock was his name, I believe. He went out of his way to say he agreed with my vision, and he was here to buy wool. I think I remembered the direction he was going, but for now, let's head back to the road where we first met him. Okay, I did attune. Is this where you met the Weaver? Yep. This is the spot. After Bolnock talked to us, he walked off to the south. Then he was probably going to Ikuvlo's Inn. Most visitors to Wachinpelu end up staying there. Let's go and check, shall we? Now we can see workers on a... Whoa. Hello. Okay, hang on. Let's get a snippet. Okay. There we go. And of course the weather's changing, but it's still gales, but it's getting brighter at the very least. Ah, we meet again, but wait, weren't you on your way to Watchin Pelu? We were, and we were there. I hope he's willing to offer us something wonderful in exchange. Can I have the basket, Myrokos? Of course. Thanks. Now, let's see if we can turn a profit. Well, Nock, I'm glad we found you. Are you interested in making a trade? Third promise, you wish to do business with me? May I ask what this is all about? Yeah, she needs an alpaca saddle. And all we have is wool. I see. So the goal is to turn that basket of wool into a jug of 3-year-old premium mezcal. Then allow me to invest in your efforts. Peace and Taral is what allows me to cross freely into the lands of my suppliers. Naturally, I would prefer that one pledged to preserve that peace win the throne. Thus do I humbly offer you this wool poncho, a small token that I pray contributes to your victory. Ooh, that is fine craftsmanship. A garment like that would easily fetch 5 pel in the hundreds column. That is very generous, Balnock. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down. I have every faith in you, Third Promise. May fortune bless your future dealings. I can't believe you quintupled your investment with your first deal. We're off to a spectacular start. Only because Myrokos remembered our weaver friend, all I did was hand over the wool. That's not true. The connections you build with people are vital. This is one of the most fundamental precepts of trading, one which you've instinctively mastered. You think so? I know so. Now let's make our 500 pel poncho and trade it for something even more valuable. Here, Myrokos, you take the poncho. If I lost it somehow, Aaronville would never let me hear the end of it. All set. Our next deal is waiting to be found. Oh dear, I wonder... Okay, I wonder if you could possibly lose that if you made a bad deal. Success, you traded a 108 PAL basket of alpaca wool for a 500 PAL wool poncho. We turned 100 PAL into 500. I know it's only 5 times more, but it feels like 500 times more. Yeah, she's excited. Leveraging connections is a sound strategy, but we should also consider supply and demand. An individual in urgent need of a good poncho will offer more than a merchant simply looking to stock his shelves. That makes sense, but how do we know if someone needs a poncho? They aren't wearing one? They have a fabulous sense of style. That's the obvious answer, isn't it? We'll look for a person without a poncho and hope they're eager to buy ours. Yes, there you go. We find the demand for our supply. So where should we begin our search for prospective buyers? There are any number of places, but we could do worse than starting here at the inn. There might be interested travelers. Who here needs a poncho? A lot of Mamuja hardly wear anything to begin with. Those are probably Landsguard or sellswords. Mamuja who soldier for a living prefer not to wear much above the waist. It hampers their movements. So even if they have bared shoulders, Mamuja carrying arms can be struck off the list. This person already has one. This is the sellsword, so no. This also looks like a sellsword of some sort. What about this one? Let's see. No coat or cloak, but also no weapon. Oh, we might have a winner. Hello there, friend. You're not a mercenary by trade, right? I was curious about your bold choice of dress, or lack thereof. Oh, it was no choice of mine. Believe me, I was attacked by beasts on the way here and barely escaped with my scales intact. My coat was not so lucky. I'm actually a toolmaker from Tuliyolal and was dressed quite smartly, all the better to show the Pelu I'm a man who takes pride in his appearance and therefore his work as well. But now look at me. Well, sir, this is your lucky day. What a splendid poncho. This would be the perfect replacement for the coat I lost. We'd be willing to part with it if you'd like to make a trade for one of your fine tools, perhaps. What about this hatchet? I crafted it myself and will vouch for its quality. The blade looks sharp, the haft well made. I'd value it at 1 PAL in the thousands column. Oh, from 500 to 1,000. We have a deal. Wonderful. A fine garment such as this should put me on even footing with any Palu merchant. Like the eponymous owner of Miplu's Mate Garden, Mate Garden. For one, her field hands use hatchets to harvest the mate, and I thought to impress her with the tool I sold you. No matter, I have other wares to sell. Glad am I to have met you. Did you hear that? We've already found our next buyer. To Miplu's Mate Garden we go. Yes, but it's a fair distance on foot. We should take alpacas. These ones will be the calm type, right? They should be. Success! You traded a 500 pel wool poncho for a 1,000 pel hatchet. Here we go again, riding alpaca. Well done recognizing that toolmaker as a potential customer. You've a mind to if you've a mind to change professions, you'd make an excellent merchant. We've been doing so well, even Tubley would have to agree. Mablu's dream. Urqopacha steals herself for the ride to find your next trading partner. Before we get moving, you should be the one to hold this. With that, I suppose we should hop on the alpacas Mablu has so kindly provided. Oh, wait. 51 yalms west. Before I get... Yep, and there it is. Yep. There's probably one back here. Well, we'll probably get to the next one ready to go. Let's mount up. And it's off to the mate fields we go. Please don't spit, please don't spit. You'll be fine. These ones are accustomed to people. I still don't trust them. You have a knack for writing no matter what you say. Without our alpaca friends, we probably would never become traveling merchants. Can you imagine walking all the way to through Tural? I swear that mountain is too tall to be real. Walker's Dormer, wasn't that the name? A forbidding sight, isn't it? One I've never appreciated up close. If you have to take the long way around the cliffs, you have to take a long way around the cliffs to get there, to the highlands belonging to the Yaqui. The Mablu, you said you were learning about the peddler profession. You don't care for ranch work? No, I love it. I love working with alpacas. But becoming a peddler has always been a dream of mine. It's just, I'm not sure I have the talent for it. If I can help you buy the taming saddle though, then it'd be proof I can do this after all. In that case, you'd best get ready to be a merchant. Look, we're almost there. Ah, okay. We made it, and without a single smelly incident. I sent the alpacas back to Kuvlu's inn. So we'll walk along the main road when we return to the village. Speaking of roads to travel, you were adopted by the Dawn Servant, weren't you, Third Promise? That I was. Then perhaps you understand. I was an orphan too. You see, Tobly took me in. He took in all the range hands, actually. All of them? Yes, and everyone works hard at their chores, grateful for the opportunity to repay the head ledger's generosity. Yet here I am, the only one wanting to go off and be a merchant. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm telling you this. We need to keep trading things for your saddle if you're to prepare for the feat of gold. And it's mate harvesting season. As it's mate harvesting season, they can't have too many quality hatchets. Add to that Urqopacha's way with people, and we should have no trouble making a favorable deal. That's Meeplu herself over there. Pass the hatchet to the Third Promise, and let's get to bargaining. Well, if it's harvesting season, won't they have hatchets? Oh, there it is. Brief detour for the ether current. Might as well get it while I'm here. Did you give the hatchet back to Urqopacha? We should let her do the talking. To what do I owe this honor? You have the little axe for me? Yep. Thanks, now let's see what we can get for it. You're Meeplu, the owner of the fields. I've a mind to trade, if you're interested. Well, the Third Promise. I might be convinced to entertain a proposal. What do you have on offer? This hatchet, forged by a seasoned artisan, the razor edge of this exceptional tool will make light work of your crops. The quality is acceptable, I suppose. I offer you a large sack of mate leaves in exchange. A sack of mate leaves is valued at 1 pel in the thousands column, the same price as the hatchet. This deal would bring us no closer to the mescal. If I may, Mistress Meeplu, it's harvesting season, is it not? Does not the demand for hatchets afford them a higher value? It is indeed the season, which is why I procured an ample batch of tools well in advance. We've missed the window for demand. In that case, we'll have to fall back on connections. Think of it this way. A generous deal here will put you in the Third Promise's good graces. Surely that is worthy of consideration. I do not wish to give offense, but I must tell you that I stand with the Second Promise. His innovations will improve every aspect of our lives, I believe, including farming, and I will no longer have need of hatchets. I assure you that I have nothing but respect for Urqopacha. That is why I'm prepared to purchase a spare hatchet at a fair price. I suppose it is fair given your reasons, but we ourselves would be no better off for the transaction. How about this then? If we were to help bring in your harvest, would you give us a better deal? As a matter of fact, I would. Until Kona's reforms come about, I can always use more hands in the fields. Then you can go ahead and add our labor to the bargain. Added value to tip the scales. How could I have forgotten one of the most basic rules of trading? You can rest here if you'd like, Mablu. Myrokos and I have mate together. Oh no, I'm helping too. Off to the fields then, and mind you pick the healthy leaves. I'll take 5 good bundles from each of you. Okay. Wait, flavor text. Isn't it splendid? Go ahead, drink in the verdant vista of my beautiful mate garden. Okay, I could probably skip that. Did you see how Urqopacha came to my rescue there? She really is good with people. That's always important if you're going to be a leader. You do need to know how to interact with people. I wasn't sure Meeplu would bite, but it goes to show that you never know until you try. True enough. You bought me some leaves then? Yep. A sizable pile of fresh harvested mate leaves, 5 bundles. An acceptable harvest. We'll see how your companions fared before I make any decisions, though. Here, we've bought our share as well. Thank you, Third Promise. This is more than enough to hold up your end of the bargain. Now it's time to honor mine. After adding the value of your labor to the price of the hatchet, I am prepared to offer you a full sack of our highest grade mate leaves. Premium mate bought at the shop. 1 sack of those leaves would cost no less than 5 pel in the thousands column. Then we can bid farewell to this hatchet. I'll give it a good home. Talk of the contest aside, I'm glad we could come to a mutually agreeable trade. As am I. All the best with the rest of your harvest. Mablou, what's wrong? It's as I was saying before, even after everything Tobly's done for me, I'm planning to abandon it all to become a merchant. But then I needed your help after forgetting a basic rule of trade. How can I expect Tobly to accept my decision then? Have you mentioned your plans to leave? So you intend to give up then? Not exactly. I wanted to prove I could succeed as a peddler before I declared my intentions. He probably has already guessed. I seek to follow in my father's footsteps, but not because he expects it of me. I want to preserve Tural's peace, and becoming Dawn Servant happens to be the best way to do it. You should live a life of your own choosing. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tobly held the same opinion, so talk to him. You're right, it's better to find out for sure than worry over what he might say. Thank you for the advice. But first we have a saddle to buy. I want that success under my belt so I can be sure of my decision. What next then? We try to trade our tea leaves for something halfway to 10,000, Cal? No, I think we're close enough now. I say we go straight for the premium mezcal. Bargain our way into double the value. Value, eh? Think you can do it? Trust me, I will make this trade work. I admire you. Third promise that you're holding your own against such strong competition for the throne is inspiring. Am I really holding my own against Kona and Zoralja? I mean, of course I am. I am Urqopacha of the Dawn's Promise, after all. She doubts herself too much. Success! You traded a 1,000 pel hatchet for 5,000 pel pack of taproot mate leaves. I've never been one to take it slow. Once I have a goal in mind, it's full speed ahead. That's who I am. A premium deal. Urqopacha has her eye on a jug of premium mezcal. Before we go, let me give you the mate leaves. I don't need to risk proving Erenville's point. Ready then? Our next stop is the Mezcal Distillery. $294 yalms. Northeast? Is it? Oh, it's probably up here. Yeah, it's gonna be over there. I'll get it by going through MSQ. Wait. Probably gonna be a mistake to have done that on this job, but whatever. And you got 16 more bi-colored gemstones. And it was on the way. 153. But probably somewhere up in here. Oh, up there. Okay, now how do we get up there? Oh. Okay, so I have to go back over here. And then... Oof, the smell of mescal is overpowering. The fumes alone are making me dizzy. will want to speak with a man by the name of Gobley. Even among his fellow distillers, he is regarded as a master of the craft. He knows the value of his product, so if we're to convince him to trade for twice what the leaves are worth, we're going to need targeted information. That means asking around and taking in the gossip. If you could talk to people here in the distillery, Myrokos, perhaps Urqopacha could do the same at the village entrance. Meanwhile, I'll head to the north side and see what I can learn. Me, I'm a chef from Tuliyolo. I often come here to buy Gobley's mezcal and the finest in Toral, according to my customers. He always brings out a jug during our dealings, but I can't handle the stuff too well myself. I take small sips, not wanting to be impolite, you understand, but still end up addled as to agree to whatever price he quotes me. It would be nice to have less potent refreshments during such conversations, else I might have to seriously consider our arrangement. There's not much I can say about Gobley, but I can tell you what Gobley's been saying. The other day, he was muttering about monsters prowling around Agave Jaws. That's the field where they gather ingredients for the mezcal. Their presence has made it harder to procure said ingredients and thus driven up the price of his product. A boon, some might argue, but it's hard to celebrate when it affects the work as it does. It can't rightly bring joy to people if you can't keep making the thing they love. True enough. Gobley might be a deft hand at distilling, but he's got no sense when it comes to appearances. Rumor has it he's been invited to the palace for business negotiations. If he presents himself to the court wearing his usual rumpled attire, though, he'll be left out of Sunpoach. So what did you find out? Oh, we can make use of all those tidbits. The deal is as good as sealed. As for me, I found out where Gobley is working. There's a millstone at the top of the slope behind the distillery. You go on ahead and I'll bring Urqopacha. Hopefully she hasn't bought anything in the meantime. You have business with me, sir? Why don't we talk down below so as not to distract the alpaca from his work? Ooh, cutscene. Now, what's this about? Keep it brief if you would, I'm a busy man. We're in the market for a 3-year-old jug of premium mezcal. Assuming you have any on hand, that is. Ah, an excellent choice. I must warn you, though, it doesn't come cheap. We don't have Pel, but we can offer a sack of mate leaves in exchange. It's top-grade stuff, just like the mezcal. No deal. Mate leaves are well and good, but I don't have any use for them. No deal? Just like that? Still, I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. Why don't we sit and chat a while over a cup of mezcal? Now the real bargaining begins. Which of our cards do you want to play first? The Hobigo chef's distaste for strong drink. I appreciate your hospitality, but I'm afraid I can't hold my drink. I've heard one of your regular customers, a Hobigo chef, is the same. Seeing as not everyone can enjoy mezcal, I wonder if you might benefit from having other refreshments to offer. Something like mate tea, for instance, and brewed from the finest of leaves, of course. Ah, you're right. Absolutely right. I had noticed a growing reluctance on the part of my Hobigo friend, but did not realize I myself was to blame. I must endeavor to be a better host. Still, even with that added value in mind, no sack of leaves is worth the mezcal you offer. Should we offer to call the monsters causing them trouble? No, that's a finisher. Not yet. We'll keep them. We'll keep that card up our sleeve until we need it. As I expect, you're aware the rite of succession is currently taking place. That's why the third promise has graced us with her presence. When the contest is decided, the subsequent ascension ceremony and banquet will be a prestigious affair. If your mezcal were to be served there, it would bring your distillery immeasurable fame. Wait, could it be that your rumored invitation to the palace is to discuss that very possibility? As a matter of fact, yes. I must admit I'm still reeling from the abruptness of it all. It would be a great honor and opportunity if I can secure the deal. Well, I should think your exceptional mezcal would speak for itself. That said, there's no such thing as being too prepared, and first impressions last. You'll want to be wearing your very best when you walk into Volokshinsa. It would be such a shame to miss this chance of a lifetime simply for want of proper garments. That it would. Are you saying you have garments to offer? Something ideal for court? We have no garments on hand, I'm afraid, but we can provide you with the next best thing, an introduction to a weaver. His name is Bolnok, and his works are highly regarded in Tuliyolal. Oh, she's good. As a supporter of Urqopacha and keen observer of palace politics, he will doubtless be happy to guide you in the selection of an outfit to fit this golden occasion. That is certainly a tempting proposal, and one of which I should like to take full advantage, but the scales aren't quite balancing. Now for the finisher. Say, weren't there monsters running amok in agave jaws? That's a problem we could easily solve for you. Truly? I would be most grateful for your immediate assistance. I was resigned to hiring sellswords to clear them out. Factoring in that saved expense and an introduction to a trusted weaver, this is shaping up to be a sound bargain. Alright, you have a deal. Yes, I knew you'd come around. Give us a moment and Myrokos and I will take care of those prowling nuisances. In the meantime, I'll use the time to pen an introductory letter to Bolnok. The fields you're looking for are just north of Wachin Palu. Be safe. Please be careful out there. That young woman is a formidable trader. That should be agave jaws just over there. This will go faster if we split up. Come and find me once you've finished clearing out your share of the pests. Okay. Had a brief disconnect issue there. Sadly, the third mob was missed, but it was just standard killing. Not certain why it was disconnecting there for a moment. Oop. Compared to the creatures I hunted with Papa, this was no challenge at all. Come on, let's head back to the distillery. All that's left is to give Mablu the sack of leaves so she can seal the deal. Right, east. Up there. And let's get the ether current while I'm here. Don't mind me, of course. Go on, give Abu the sack of leaves so she can seal the deal. Those monsters were no trouble for you, it seems. Now if I could just have the sack of leaves. Large sack of premium mate leaves you received in trade for a fine hatchet and an investment of labor worth 5 pel in the thousands column. Thank you for looking after our precious trading goods. Your monster problem has been solved, Master Gobley. Here are the mate leaves and a written introduction to Ball Nook as agreed. Then the deal is done. Here, your jug of premium mezcal, aged 3 years. Please accept it with my compliment. Yes, we finally have the mezcal. Great work, especially you, Mablu. You were the one who inspired me to come this far, Third Promise, but let's not celebrate until we have the saddle in hand. Mablu, is it? You drive a hard bargain, young peddler. I look forward to doing business with you in the future. Thank you, but truth be told, I'm just a ranch hand. For now. Should I ever become a proper merchant, though, I'll be back to strike more deals with you. Success! You traded a 5,000 pel sack of top-grade mate leaves for a 10,000 pel jug of premium mezcal. Master Gobley's praise. It makes me confident I can be a peddler after all. Well, a bit more confident than before, at least. Urqopacha in the saddle. Urqopacha is ready to return to Havli. Even at the palace, I don't think I've held a 10,000 pel jug of anything before. My hands won't stop shaking. Here, you'd better hold on to it until we get to the saddle maker. Aha, you can imagine if we dropped it and had to start... Can you imagine if we dropped it and had to start all over again? Luckily, Havli's in place is not far. We just need to head across the plaza. I'm satisfied with our trade, and I trust you are too. Should you have need of more mezcal, you know where to come to. That I do. The Third Promise looks ready to trade the mezcal now. This is it, the trade we've been working towards. A high-quality jug of mezcal you received in trade for premium mate leaves, an introductory letter, and the swift culling of hostile pests with 10 pel in the thousands column. Here you go. Phew, still in one piece. Right. Time to make our deal. Get your tools ready, Saddler. We've brought your precious mezcal. Wait, you actually got your hands on a jug? But you had nothing, a few measly clumps of wool. What we had was an aspiring trader with a gift for negotiation. Although I'd sooner aid no claimant but Zoralja, I cannot go against the guiding principles of the Pelu Pelu. The trade is a fair one. I will craft your saddle, third promise. Great. Stay and wait if you like. I have all the requisite materials, so this won't take so long. Your commission is ready. Catching a wild alpaca is never a simple affair, but you'll have an easier time of it with one of my saddles. Now, if you don't mind, I have other work that needs finishing. I can taste that smooth mezcal already. We did it! The saddle is ours! And to think we started out with only a 100 pel basket of alpaca wool, Mablu, you are going to be an incredible merchant. Thank you, it makes me so glad to hear you say that, third promise. We got what we came for, so let's return to the ranch. The others will be waiting. Success, you traded a 10,000 pound jug of premium mezcal for a taming saddle. So that was the third promise. She's not the spoiled, untested daughter I was expecting. So if the gauge is filled or to 50 or more, the the AFK stance is to have the blades in double blade. That's an interesting thing. Let's tell them the good news. It looks like everyone's been pitching in with the alpacas. You've been away for some time. I assume trading was productive. I made the mistake of startling one and caught a glob of spittle for my trouble. I'm beginning to understand Urqopacha's aversion to the animals. Tobly and Aaronville have been teaching us how to care for alpacas. One gentle girl ate the feet straight from my hand. You've acquired the saddle then? Yep. Yes, and thanks in no small part to Mablu. Before you rush off to catch an alpaca, though, let me teach you how to saddle one. I'll bring out one of our wild-born friends so you can practice. I know, this is something I need to learn. Great sunken gods, I did it. And on the first try, no less. He hardly seemed bothered, much less inclined to spit, as if he was completely accepting of Urqopacha's touch. That's because of the singular scent with which the saddle has been coated. Alpacas find it very soothing. You know, I've never taken a good long look at one of you before, but you're actually kind of cute. Haha, you're only now noticing that? Yep. It looks like Zaralja's back. Yep, Zaralja. He's back. What? A shining golden one? Having done exactly what he set out to do. That alpaca he spot. Is it just me or is it glowing? I've heard tales of such a beast. They say the golden alpaca lives a solitary existence deep in the valley where it shuns the company of both man and its own kind. How did he manage to snare a prize like that? A beast knows its betters. Faced with overwhelming strength, it will yield rather than risk death. An apt illustration of how greatly the power of the first promise exceeds yours, Urqopacha. Strength alone won't win him our father's throne. I'll be the one to find the Golden City, and then Toral can remain at peace. An everlasting desire for peace can only be forged in the fires of war. To unite as one, the peoples must be taught. They must suffer the horror and hopelessness firsthand. Exhaustion from prolonged conflict, the wages of wars, merciless nature. These are what moved the clans to join in the founding of Tuli Yolal all those years ago. Consider the younger generation of this village. Since birth they basked in unbroken harmony, and behold, they regard war as not as tragedy, but opportunity. Thus does the resilient son seek to provide education. He offers much needed lessons in the realities of conquest and a renewed appreciation for peacetime. 'Tis true that war's miseries breed a longing for peace. But I have seen with my own eyes what becomes of an empire forged through the violence you propose, the rebellions it spawned, and the ruins it left behind. The Garlean Empire was a congregation of simpletons. The oppressed fought back against their oppressors, as well they should. Men are not beasts. Only a fool would seek to rule over all with the threat of force alone. This is why Guljaja did not elevate the Mamulja, why he treated all clans with equal respect. However, the first promise has his gaze fixed upon more distant horizons. He would unite not only Tuli Yolal, but the star in its entirety. What? Why? I need not explain myself to you. Oh, well done indeed. The first promise has completed the feat of gold with an appropriately golden flourish. I may present to you your much-deserved keystone. He's always been like that, never sharing his innermost thoughts with me or even with Kona. It's like we're not even family. I wonder why he's like that. I could never agree with Sriracha. I want to Yolol to be a land of peace now and always. A golden alpaca in the flesh, like the Golden City, I thought them a children's tale. What kind of idiot thinks the world can be united with war? Even most Garlands have since realized that their conquests were a mistake. So much of our star has begun to embrace reconciliation and rebuild, and this would-be warlord would thrust us all back into turmoil. We cannot allow it to happen. Sriracha is willing to go to war for his twisted vision of peace, but should he achieve this peace, then what? I'll ponder Sriracha and his mysteries later. Right now, I need to think about finishing the feat of gold. I have my saddle, I've practiced how to use it, and so lead on to where the wild alpacas roam. The valley of Urqopacha is northwest of here. Come on, everyone. Even if we can't enter ourselves, we can see Urqopacha off on her hunt. There should be a fifth one. Hang on. I feel like I missed something. I must have. Huh. Nope. Nothing else here. It's just compared to before, I got 5 here. I wonder where the 5th one is. Yeah, the others must be in the other section of the zone. Unless it's all the way up. No, it can't be. Yeah, I mean, I've explored all the parts of this segment of the zone. Mablu's right. The least we can do is wait for Urqopacha, knowing we're cheering her on. Zoralja may have caught his alpaca first, but that doesn't mean Urqopacha is out of the running. She can do this. Urqopacha is a steep and treacherous place, so only those with the head ledger's blessings are permitted to go there. I've never set foot beyond this point. The valley is said to be home to fiends far more ferocious than spitting alpacas. How deep do you think the valley is? I glanced over the edge on the way here, but the mist was too thick to even speculate. Well, at least they're referencing that. I can do this. I know I can. Chill on Urqopacha as she marshals her courage to attempt the harrowing task of capturing a wild alpaca. Oh, and oh yeah, there's the button, but I'm so used to typing in chat.
Good luck there, Promise!
Thanks. I'll need it. Truth be told, still not sure about alpacas. I'd rather not go near one if I can help it. But if I'm to rule this nation, then I'll need to learn how to live with them. Tural is their home too. Right. I'm off.
So, shall we head back to the ranch, or...?
I'm staying here.
As will I. Urqopacha is alone in this. The least we can do is stand watch and await her return.
It may be a while yet. Help me pitch the tent.
Trust a gleaner to come prepared for anything.
What's a gleaner?
Someone whose job it is to travel the world and procure uncommon things for their employers. Erenville specializes in finding animals, I believe.
But aren't you a Shaitana from Jacques Tural? Why did you cross the salt?
When I was much younger, the thought of leaving Tural never even occurred to me. But then, some years ago, my mentor tasked me with a difficult hunt. Something I could never find, she said, so long as I clung to the familiar. She suggested that I leave home, leave Tural, and join the Gleaners of Sharlayan. As one of their number, I could experience the world, immerse myself in myriad cultures and customs, see the many faces of nature. And once I had learned what is truly important, I would find that which I seek. My younger self took those words to heart, and off I went to become a gleaner.
Her words alone moved you to leave behind everything you'd ever known? You must have great respect for your mentor.
As it happens, gleaner work was much to my liking, and I all but forgot why I had pursued it in the first place. Yet, events conspired to put me back on the trail I'd abandoned.
Wait, are you saying you were tasked with finding the City of Gold?
I was. And though my hunt is now entangled with the right of succession, I mean to see it through.
Well then, I understand completely. We all have our reasons for seeking the Golden City. Which is all the more reason for us to work together.
Just so.
She should have been back by now. What if something's happened to her? We need to tell Tobli and arrange a search party.
Wait. Do you hear that?
I did it.
You're utterly spent, and small wonder.
Well done, Third Promise.
The ranch isn't going anywhere. Take a rest in the tent.
I think I will. Thank you all for believing in me.
Urqopacha had no serious injuries to speak of, however, she had clearly been pushed to the very limits of her endurance. I spoke too much. If Urqopacha is up to it, we should be heading back to Tobli. Thanks to Alphino and his healing hands, I can actually stand again, maybe even walk. Alphino was quick to lend a hand with dismantling the tent. Is this to be his new obsession now that he's mastered collecting firewood? Good question there. We were out here for quite some time, but I'm glad Urqopacha was able to catch her alpaca. Did you? Oh yeah, I did. I'm so relieved the Third Promise came back to us safely, and the alpaca she tamed is a healthy, good-looking beast. Surely this will be enough to satisfy the feat of gold. Knowing the Pelu Pelu, Mablou is minded to rush ahead to the village. Urqopacha still seems a bit unsteady on her feet, hardly surprising after she spent the night chasing alpacas. You know what will melt away fatigue like magic though? Mate tea. I'll run to the ranch and get a pot brewing. That way you can take your time and the tea will be ready when you arrive. As Mablou so wisely suggested, we shall set a slower pace for our exhausted third promise. Came back ahead of the others, did you? I should hurry along with the tea then. Urqopacha can't be that far behind. Oh, that tea really is magical. I feel better already. I see you've become more comfortable around our fuzzy friends. Watching this one taught me a lot about alpacas, what grasses and fruits they eat, what sounds they react to, their adorable little quirks. I guess I've grown kind of fond of them. Welcome back, third promise. Accomplished the feat of gold, have you? Yes, there is no mistaking a valley alpaca. I commend you on your success. Well done. Yes, we did it. Although I couldn't find a shiny one like Zoraja did. I'd be surprised if you had. Golden alpacas are born but once every few decades. They are elusive, solitary creatures that are rarely seen, much less captured, thanks to their innate physical and magical gifts. Only a single other person is known to have caught one before, that being Urqopacha himself. Papa was chasing alpacas too. So my grandfather's stories say. It was before the founding of Tuliolal, in the time when the mountain giants, the Yaqui, held our people in thrall. Compelled by their overlords, our forebears would ride their alpaca mounts to the highlands to deliver gifts of food and other tributes. Those were wretched days to hear grandfather tell it. Then along came the young Urqopacha, yet unburdened by the mantle of Dawn's servant. Our people were amazed by this imposing two-headed figure, equal to the Yaqui in stature and puzzled by his entourage of mismatched companions. Some trembled in fear, believing a new conqueror had come. Yet Urqopacha showed no such inclinations. He sat and spoke with us. sipping from the cups of mate tea we offered him, and grew somber when he learned of our plight. None could have anticipated what their visitor decided to do next. Urqopacha ascended the cliffs to face the giant and freed the giants and freed the Pelupelu from the Yakui's subjugation. He then turned an apprising eye upon our riders and proposed we take to the road and peddle our beverages. The suggestion seemed obvious for one who traveled as he did, intent on fostering amity between the clans. Wait, who's the Rogadin? There was a Rogadin there. That's kind of an outlier. There don't seem to be Rogadin here in Toril. So it was that a few words from Urqopacha transformed us into a clan of itinerant merchants. I've never heard the Bond Papa Forge with the Pelupelu spoken of in that way before. The saga is not so detailed. Then you may not know that Urqopacha sought a sure-footed guide for his trek up the highlands. Thus did he capture a golden alpaca. So both my brother and my father caught the rarest of creatures, while an ordinary one was the best I could manage. The feat required no more than that, third promise, and you brought back a perfectly wonderful beast. Mablu's right. You're a perfectly wonderful beast. If anyone's ordinary, it's me. Not only did you accomplish the feat of gold, you also made many trades and brought joy to many people in true Pelupelu fashion. I sorely doubt your sibling could have achieved the same result. You should be proud of the accomplishments which earned you your keystone. Oh man, I love seeing all the texture of the garments is amazing. I don't recall seeing that cloak so detailed. Five more to go. You're well on your way, third promise. We'd have been lost without you, Mablu. Thanks to you, I learned so much about the Pelu people and your customs. It might seem obvious, but I've come to realize the importance of properly knowing something. It was because I didn't understand alpacas that I was uncomfortable around them. I'm thankful to you as well, Urqopacha. You've given me the courage to say what I wasn't sure I ever could say. Totally, I want to leave the ranch and become a merchant. I appreciate everything that you've done for me, and I loved every moment caring for the alpacas. But this is something I need to do. I need to walk my own path and make my own trades. As your parent, allow me to say one thing. I've always tried to give my wards lives filled with as much happiness as I could provide, yet never once have I wanted that to be the only happiness you knew. You have my blessing to walk any path you choose, Mablu. It gladdens me to hear you found a calling you wish to pursue with such passion. You will make an exceptional peddler, I'm sure of it. Thank you, Tobli. What did I tell you, Mablu? There's one last thing I can help you with, Third Palace. You need to find the Golden City, right? That's the end goal. Then I suggest you talk to the Yaqui. They once ruled over far more than just Urqopacha and the Pelu. 1,000 years ago, they were the overlords of Yogg-Saron and all its peoples. During that era, the Pelu were commanded to search for a city of gold. They scoured every corner of the continent, but never found any trace of that fabled place. But if they didn't find anything, what could the Yaqui have to tell us? They may have found it, but the fact that they thought to look for it at all makes me curious. Perhaps there's value in delving into how the legend originated. We lose nothing from asking the question. Besides, if we're determined to follow the path of the saga, we'll be visiting the giants eventually. Oh, Kryle, I have a question I'd been meaning to ask since, and since we've finished with the feat, where did you acquire that earring? My earring? Do you recognize it? Yes, pieces just like it first became fashionable in Yogg-Saron around 20 years ago. Since then, it's become common to wear one as a charm for safe travel. 20 years ago. Right about the time my grandfather made his journey, yet the Dawn Servant implied the earring was connected to the Golden City in some way. Surely there was more to its significance than simple fashion. If you want to know how it first came to be crafted, I could try to find out. Seeing as it's a regular seller for many merchants, I'm curious to learn about it myself. I would appreciate that very much. Thank you. Jumping feet first into the peddler business, eh, Mablu? Right then, that's 2 keystones down. I say we head back to Tuliyollal and plan our next move. Farewell for now, and thanks for all your help. I will become Dawn Servant, so make sure you set aside your best mescal for the occasion. She has a fearsome opponent in that brother of hers. He even brought a golden alpaca to heal. But you've heard Zoralja's supporters talk. They might see opportunity in his expansionist ambitions, but they find the man himself intimidating, terrifying even. Whereas I've grown to love Urqopacha. Everyone she meets will come to love her too, and that's why she'll win the throne. You might be right, Mablu. You might be right. I expected as much from the moment I saw him, but winning the contest against Zoralja will not be easy. The Yaqui once ruled the entirety of Yogg-Saron. I'm curious to see what has become of them. That makes 2 of the 7 keystones. So far, so good. I never dared hope we would find a lead for this earring mystery so quickly. It feels good to have the feet of gold safely under our belt, even if my victory pales beside Zoralja and his shiny golden alpaca. I know I shouldn't let it bother me, and gods know you've all been so supportive, but I want it to be strong or wise, wise like my brothers, to be a promise that people respect. Which is not likely if I stand here carrying on and on about things. Let's move on. To Jabali's chair with us, the contest has hardly begun. Oop. And here are the current quests. Let's get those done and then... I kind of wish I knew where the rest of those were. I won't read this part out because my voice is starting to give out. Corrupted crystals. Sorry, I must have misheard you. It almost sounded like what you said, 1 million. He did say 1 million. They're not worth a fraction of that. Well, for such a low price, I'd be a fool to refuse. What do you mean? Considering how much I should send me back to purchase them. The price I'm offering should be perfectly reasonable. Strange, these are precious crystals. No, they're not. No, they are not. Just to be certain, these crystals are considered priceless treasures in Eorzea, right? Nope, they're commonplace and worthless. Let me see if I'm getting this right. Not only are corrupted crystals commonplace across the salt, but they're also highly volatile. And in the past, you once used such crystals together with an elemental converter to do battle with powerful entities you call primals. What's more, you kept them in a warded container at all times to protect against their deleterious effects. All of which is to say no practical use for such crystals has been discovered, meaning no one with sense would ever bother to mine them. The peddler who sold the crystals to me never mentioned a word of this. He claimed they're extremely rare in Eorzea, which is why I decided to purchase them in the first place at the exorbitant price he offered. Naturally, I believed him, having never seen crystals of the like. Could you blame me? But if they really have no use... You made a bad deal. Have I, Nopally the Lucky, been swindled? Yes. Yes, you have. Well, at the very least, I was able to learn about the crystal's true nature before selling them to some poor soul. Fortune hasn't abandoned me completely yet. At any rate, I'd like to verify whether these crystals truly hold no value. Would you be willing to help me look into this, Myrokos? I need someone I can trust, and that you'd be willing to share the truth with me says a lot. No need to answer right away. Give it some thought. If you've no interest, you're free to be on your way. If you decide to assist me, however, I'll be here waiting. Honestly, I just want the ether current. You're willing to help? Wonderful. You truly are a kind-hearted soul. Now, before I go and confront the merchant who sold me these crystals, I'd like to look into potential uses for them in Tural. For instance, crystals are high in demand among Turali mages who make extensive use of them in their rituals. And it just so happens I know a spellcaster among the distillery guard. My voice is starting to give out again. Yeah. The sword wielding. Barbarian guard. Alright, let's talk to him, see. Here's the let's see, okay. Okay, now to turn in this quest. And we're coming up on nearly 3 hours. I've heard there are hot springs in Urqopacha, and mayhap time permitting. I have not forgotten our obligations to Urqopacha, of course. Having immersed ourselves in the cultures of others, though, my anticipation for the new experiences this adventure will bring us has only grown. Neither Kona nor Bakulja appeared to be in Wanchan Palu. I imagine they're around somewhere, making progress even as we are. Yet in a contest like this, 'tis only a matter of time until the claimants are pitted against each other in direct competition. The Pelu remind me of lavafowl, never letting their size slow them down or hold them back. They move at their own pace, making their textiles and mescal and raise alpacas to bear them to market. Idle musings aside, we've made a good start on these challenges. Hopefully we can keep it up. A golden alpaca. Alone, I may have tried to track the beast myself. Traveling with so large and diverse a group is unfamiliar to me. Wish you could see me now. Look at us. The contest has barely begun and we already have 2 keystones. Surely even my talented brothers aren't doing this well. We can only hope. The success of others. Urqopacha is eager to attempt the next feat. We've now won keystones from both the Feat of Reeds and the Feat of Gold. Surely that means our approach to the contest was the right one. So it would seem, by continuing to retrace Gulul Chandra's journey as presented in the saga, we should find the remaining electors in turn. Then let's visit the giants next, like Cryo said. The fact that they were searching for the Golden City might mean they know something useful. The home of the Yokui is in the upper reaches of Urqopacha. Unless you're keen on scaling the cliffs, we'll have to take the long way around through Kozamaoka. This route will take us close to the Moblin village, which is another important location in the saga. Since we'll need all the keystones eventually, it makes sense to pay them a visit while we're passing through. So we call on the Moblins first. Let's head there right now. I'm afraid right now is going to be a problem. The flight of we wingless, the great stairs leading to the Moblin settlement, collapsed in the storm. What are we to do then? is an alternative, but it requires preparation until it's ready. You could rest at the cabins or see more of the city, whatever you prefer. Just be sure you'll accept any method of travel as long as it gets us to our destination. Of course. Who would you take me for? Then as your guide, I will see to the arrangements. Well, it seems we have some free time on our hands. Let us make the most of it. Can we get tacos now? I need to get my axe repaired. I nicked the blade pretty bad when I took a swing at Urqopacha. That reminds me, I never got around to introducing you to Ripley, did I? He's the man in charge of Watchum Mickey, and a good person to know. Want to come along? Okay. Let's go then. Ready, the markets of Wachumekimeki are to the east, on the other side of Bayside Bevy. Urqopacha is now accompanying you. Keep her at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. Blah blah blah. Fortunately, I already unlocked that, just to travel a little bit faster, but before we talk to Ripley, I will get that dialogue circle. I could have walked through, but I'm lazy. Aunt T's Tacos. This is Aunt T's Tacos. Okay, somebody was making a pun. Auntie's Tacos. Named for its owner here, the lovely Teasel. If you're after the best tacos in Tuliyolo, this place sits at the top with Zabayevtia. You say that, Third Palace, but you only ever eat old Brooke Evu's food. Come and buy mine for a change. Sorry, Teasel. It has been a while, hasn't it? I swear I'll stop for a bite once the contest is over. Jazz really isn't my music, but I could get used to this. My, the Third Promise, how might I assist you this fine evening? Well met, Ripley. I need to buff a nasty nick out of my axe blade. Yes, it's been chipped quite terribly, trying to cleave rocks again, were we? Or something like that. Think you can fix it? You stand among Tyrell's most prestigious gathering of artisans and ask this question? 'Tis child's play. We'll have it prepared for you in 2 shakes of an alpaca's tail. Good to hear. I leave it in your capable hands. Who is your companion, if I may ask? This is Myrokos, a great adventurer I recruited from across the salt. I brought him here to meet you, actually. Thought he might have reason to visit Wachumekimeki sooner or later. Then allow me to introduce myself. I am Ripley, humble representative of this grand center of trade. A pleasure to meet you, Myrokos. You there, stop dithering in the shadows and announce your business already. I've seen that man somewhere before. Yeah, wasn't he on the boat? A jewelry maker you met on the voyage over. Oh, I remember. I spoke with him too. Franjentine? Yes, that was his name. You've been loitering like a flighty admirer who can't pluck up the courage to confess his feelings. Out with it then. Why are you here? That is to say... Why is he running off? And we're no closer to solving that enigma. I wonder if I could use, if he could use someone to talk to. I say we go and ask. Let me know by Link Pearl if you find him first. Our nervous man of mystery fled westwards, never to be seen again. Oh, wait, I don't... Let's see, what? Right. Well, in the meantime, not here. Oh, here he is. You were conversing with Master Ropley, but wait, we've met before, haven't we? On the ship. You found him? Good, I'll be right there. Why did you run off like that? Did you have business with Ripley or not? Please, you needn't concern yourselves with my affairs. I'm undeserving of such attention. Huh? What are you talking about? I beg of you, do not ask me to explain. Do not. Sorry, but the more you tell me not to, the more curious I become. Besides, you look like you need a friend. You are too kind. So be it. I suppose I can share with you a morsel of my misery. Before I came to Tuliyola, I worked as a goldsmith at the most prestigious jewel maker in all of Ul'dah, Stymies Aesthetics. It started off well enough, but as the days passed, everything began to go wrong. Compared to the masterpieces of my talented colleagues, my products were lacking, mediocre. I lost all confidence. crippling doubt had possessed me, and any veneer of bravado I tried to put forth soon cracked beneath its weight. Thus did I take ship, hoping to find a fresh beginning on new shores, yet as you witnessed, I lacked the courage to even approach a potential employer, to stand before a man wallowing in the wreckage of his ill-spent existence. Alright then, you offered a morsel, then served us the full course. You must have really wanted someone to hear your story. If you like, I could try to give you a few words of advice. Then you have experience with my predicament? Of feeling terribly inadequate compared to your undeniably superior peers? She does. She does that. Well, when you put it that way, I not me. I'm Urqopacha. Cleared promise to tell you all, and now you're lying. Urqopacha, that's not good. Daughter of the Dawn Servant. Oh, of course you're a member of the royal family. Please forgive my presumptuousness. But what of you? Have you ever measured your work against that of your colleagues and found yourself wanting? Yeah, sometimes. You can't measure your worth by the success of others on occasion. How can I not? Should my work not meet the same exacting standards, no commissions will be forthcoming. What then was the point of my becoming a goldsmith? Looking back, 'twas my father who inspired me to take up the trade. His exquisite creations brought radiant smiles to the faces of his clients, and I admired him deeply for it. But in the course of striving to be as great a goldsmith as him, I lost sight of my original motivation. All I ever wanted was to spread joy through my craft as he did. Perhaps I will give this one last try. Thank you both for reminding me what it is of what is truly important. What is truly important? Oh, sorry, Myrokos, I didn't mean to ignore you. But yes, I'm glad to see Frangentine is giving himself another chance. The success of others. Yes, done. Yay! For all Topali, Urqopacha wonders how Frangentine is getting on. I can't help but wonder if Frangentine will follow through. Let's see if he's actually gone to talk with Ripley. Oh, it's starting to get chilly in here. Urqopacha seems a changed man. I'm not sure if this is the same man. You can do this, Franchentine. It was kind of you to come, but you needn't worry. I found my courage. Pray accept my apologies for my earlier behavior. My name is Franchentine, and I am a goldsmith from Ulda in faraway Eorzea. I realize this is a bold request, but I should like to continue practicing my trade here in Wachumeki. If you will have me, I ask only for the opportunity to bring happiness to others with my creations. So that's what it was about. You were looking for work. Consider yourself hired. Wachumeki is always in need of skilled craftsmen and women. I'll handle the necessary paperwork. Can you start tomorrow? Yes, of course. I must thank you both again for your sage and timely advice. I don't think I was all that helpful. But you were. Had you not come to speak with me, I would not have had that moment of much-needed self-reflection. The arrangements have been made. Come and meet me at the entrance of High Tide Harbor. Oh, I almost forgot. Do you have my axe ready, Ropley? Ready and waiting. Behold, the sublime touch of a Wachumeki artisan. Oh, it's as sharp and deadly as the first day I held it. Thank you. Well, good luck to you, Franchentine. Let me know if that doubt creeps back in. I'd be happy to talk to you of it. As for us, we should head for the harbor. We wouldn't want to keep Erenville waiting. Yeah, that talk of doubt and self-reflection reminded me of a scene from the Downton Abbey movie. I know better than to hold myself to an impossible standard. The only thing that matters is the joy my craft can bring to others. Always happy to add a new artisan to the ranks. Do let me know if there's anything else I can help you with. All that waiting was making me hungry, so I tried a taco from and on TC's. I haven't gotten any tacos. I think I prefer T-Cell's spicier flavors. Okay. I want to re-examine the Tuli-Yolal saga. Should we continue apace? We shall soon come face to face, or rather face to knee, with those enormous Yakri. I am told some of them tower over even the hulking Golol Jaja. I wandered through the Bayside markets and found earrings almost identical to mine. They indeed seem to be a common travel charm, just as Mablu described. I wonder what Erenville's alternative means of travel is. Well, if he has to come to the docks, it probably boat. It's a boat. Enough with the secrecy. What's this big plan of yours? Look there. That is my big plan. What is that? It's a Punuchi. She'll be pulling our boat upriver. How do we know she won't thrash about and sink us instead? They're gentle and timid creatures for the most part. She's unlikely to cause a fuss unless you give her reason to. So just like an alpaca. First alpacas, now punitris. We're relying on a lot of animals for this journey. We should be thankful we have an expert as our guide then. But did it have to be my old nemesis? Another boat? Well, I took you for someone who was up to the challenge. Was I wrong? Long ago, when fighting still raged between clans, the inhabitants of Kozamaoka rode these riverboats to move swiftly through hostile territory. But the vessels see less use with Tural now at peace, so I was able to borrow one with one of the few which remain. I did consider it a dirigible, but the pilots warned me that the updrafts near the falls would make landing difficult. You said you borrowed one, yet there appear to be several on the water. Kana! Namachi, traveling upriver, I presume? Seems that way. Does this mean you've earned 2 keystones already? I can't believe how well you've managed despite undertaking the contest alone. I was never alone. I've had my entourage with me since the beginning. My friends, it's been, well, not that long. Yep, it's them. Tancred, Urianche, what are you doing here? Escorting a promise, the same as you. I'd heard much of the incomparable Archon during my time at the Studium. As soon as the contest was confirmed, I thought who better to recruit to my cause. I contacted the Scholar, who arranged an introduction to these 2 gentlemen. The second promise had specific requirements. They who would be his assistants must boast both proven survival skills and mastery of the arcane arts. Thus did Thancred and I receive the summons. My own studies concentrated on technology which our people could readily use, such as inventions born of magitech or clever engineering. Where magic was concerned, I covered only the foundation. Knowing you 2, I expect you had other reasons for accepting the job. If few, the nation of Tuliyola spans an entire continent. Depending on who wins the throne, the world will be plunged into instability once more. Ever have we striven to preserve peace? Where is our place if not here and now? We did our due diligence, of course, and made sure of who we were working with before agreeing to this endeavor. He's even more opaque than Urianche at times, but it is surprisingly... That's quite enough of that. We must be on our way. Wait, I have one question before you leave. Kana and Urqopacha are vying for the throne as Kana entourage? Does that mean you're resolved to defeat all his opponents, including us? We are sworn to do all in our power to win the contest for Kona, even if it means competing against our own comrades. We intend to hold nothing back and expect you to do the same. We won't disappoint you. I thought you were taking a boat. If even you have been forced to travel on water, then the others will be doing the same. I would rather walk than risk confrontation on a leaky barge with no possibility of retreat. That is actually kind of smart. It's true that I can't stand boats, but I trust the route Erenville has chosen for us. Leave the handling of the punitry to me. Should other wildlife attack us, however, I may have difficulty keeping her under control. Do your best to draw them away as far from the front of the boat as possible. Then we shall remain on deck and stand guard, although it may be wise to have at least one of us sit up front with Erenville just in case. I'd like to stay on deck. I'm eager to put my pictomancy to the proof, and I'll take the chance to show you that I can hold my own on the battlefield. Then Cryle will stand on guard with Myrokos. I'll keep Erenville company then. With my blade, I can respond more quickly to the threats than Alphino. Thank you. If a fight breaks out, I'll try to stay out of your way. Then I shall endeavor to provide aid where it is needed. I can do that as well. That shall cover the most eventualities. Secure your gear and board the boat when you're ready. Okay. It's coming up on my lunchtime. Yeah. Oh. Buckle, Jaja. Let the hunt begin. Okay, it's coming up on my lunchtime. I think what I will do is do this via duty support because I'm curious for some of the flavor text. But after I've had lunch. Yeah, after I've had lunch and taken a break. This feels like a good break point. If you liked what you saw at any point, please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Give me a follow on Twitch. Hit the notification bells. And I shall see you anon, friends.